Aboard another Summit Airlines flight, Olivia Bennett sat in first class, feeling a quiet sense of accomplishment. Months ago, her experience with the airline had been marred by an incident of subtle but undeniable discrimination. Dismissed and judged based on her appearance, she had chosen to challenge the status quo, not with outrage, but with firm resolve. Now, as she settled into her seat, the atmosphere around her felt markedly different. Change had taken root, and she was witnessing its effects firsthand. Richard, a flight attendant who had once treated her with condescension, now approached with an air of humility. His expression was no longer laced with skepticism but with gratitude. He admitted that the past few months had been a learning experience for him. After the controversy surrounding Olivia's treatment, Summit Airlines had implemented a rigorous customer advocacy program, forcing employees to confront unconscious biases they might have overlooked before. Richard himself had undergone extensive training, spending time understanding the perspectives of passengers from all walks of life. "I never realized how much a simple look or a casual remark could make someone feel unwelcome," he confessed. Olivia could tell his words were sincere. Throughout the cabin, she noticed small but meaningful shifts in behavior. Flight attendants engaged with passengers more attentively, ensuring that everyone felt acknowledged, regardless of appearance or background. Diane, another crew member who had been indifferent during Olivia's previous flight, now moved through the aisle with warmth and professionalism. An elderly man struggled to retrieve his bag, and she assisted him with genuine care. These weren't just procedural changes, there was a deeper shift in attitude, a willingness to treat every passenger with equal respect. The airline's transformation had extended beyond customer service. Caroline, a senior flight attendant who had once been dismissive of Olivia, now carried herself differently. Instead of a skeptical glance, she offered a respectful nod as she passed by. Olivia knew that such changes didn't happen overnight. They required self-reflection, uncomfortable conversations, and a willingness to grow. Summit Airlines had chosen to embrace that challenge, turning a moment of controversy into a catalyst for long-term improvement. As the plane cruised at 35,000 feet, Olivia overheard two passengers discussing the airline's new inclusivity policies. "I read about the changes they made," one said. "It's impressive how they actually followed through." Olivia smiled to herself, knowing that her efforts had played a role in that progress. What had begun as an isolated incident had led to industry-wide discussions on fairness, bias, and the importance of treating all passengers with dignity. When Caroline stopped by Olivia's seat, there was no tension, only mutual understanding. "I wanted to say, I've learned a lot from everything that happened," Caroline admitted. "It changed how I approach my job. I used to think I was just enforcing rules, but now I see the bigger picture." Olivia appreciated the honesty. Growth was never easy, but it was always worth it. "That's all anyone can ask for," she replied. Looking around, Olivia noticed a young woman in ripped jeans and a band t-shirt comfortably seated in first class, chatting with a friend. A few months ago, she might have been subjected to judgmental glances or dismissive attitudes. Today, no one batted an eye. That, Olivia realized, was the real victory, not just for her, but for every passenger who would never have to fight for the respect they deserved. The story's true lesson lay in how change takes shape. It isn't born from anger alone, but from persistence, education, and the courage to challenge outdated norms. Olivia had never sought revenge or public spectacle. She had simply wanted fairness. And now, watching the quiet transformation around her, she knew she had achieved exactly that. As the plane began its descent, Olivia reflected on how one small moment of resistance had led to something much greater. The airline had evolved, not because it was forced to, but because people within it had chosen to learn and grow. In the end, this wasn't just a story about an airline or a single passenger's experience. It was a testament to the power of advocacy, to the idea that even in the face of bias, progress is possible. Stepping off the plane, Olivia felt lighter. She had started this journey seeking fairness for herself, but she had found something even more valuable: a shift in culture, a lesson in humility, and a glimpse of a world where respect wasn't reserved for the privileged few, but extended to all.